What's up YouTube? It's cralisa Victoria. I am back with another video. In this video, we're just going to be talking about some things you could be doing to repair your credit. I want to just go ahead and drop the disclaimer here that I am not a credit expert at all. I am very knowledgeable about some things that have helped me with my credit, but I am not a credit expert. So please do not leave my channel and say, oh, well, she told me to do this and then it resulted in this, so why did I listen? If she's supposed to be an expert, then she shouldn't have said that. I just want you to know I'm not an expert. I'm just putting out tips that could help you get to your goals. So first things first, your journal. Thumbnail, guys. I'm trying to get a thumbnail. Am I the only one who do this? Like I promise you, I feel like I'm the only one who like be this way. Today is the day is what the journal says. And the thing about it is I'm not taking that part out, the part where I'm just like freezing and stuff. I'm keeping it in the video. Anyway, this is my calendar, okay? So sometimes I need to get more calendar pages, but sometimes I will throw like my daily notes, like I'll throw a piece of paper in there, take my notes and keep them in here because easy to find, because I always have my handy dandy nifty go-to calendar, okay? So keep you a calendar, sis, okay? Keep you a planner, a journal, but not only one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many you need to be successful. This is literally, I guess you could say, well, what's in my business bag? Should I make that the name of the video? So what's in my business bag? And then we're going to talk about credit. We're going to talk about all that. So let's just say what's in my business bag. So maybe I will, should I redo my... I feel like I'm going to look back at this and be like, bro, what? So what's in my business bag? I got to get the thumbnail. Oh, let me get the posture. I am going to be doing more videos that are going to be focused on like business stuff. So basically I'm telling you guys what is in my bag, okay? So pretty much I actually have journals galore. So there are chargers, okay? There's gum. So let me just show y'all. So I got my chargers. I have like a pen in there or two because obviously you need a pen. And then I have another journal. So these were all just in my bag, no cap. No cap, like all of them. So I'm going to tell you about each of them. So pretty much like if I have some, I keep just a plain little notebook in here. A lot of times I used to keep my budget in here. So like my monthly budgets or whatever, I would keep them in here. But I'm thinking about transferring them into my other financial planner, which right here, this planner, pretty much is like a financial planner. It says it and everything, but I write down all of my like financial goals, what I want to do, where I'm trying to get to, all of that. This is like my guide to becoming what I'm trying to do, knowing my credit card minimums, knowing which credit cards to pay down. Now I'm going to say this about credit cards, okay? You might be against credit cards. I used to be too. Okay, didn't want them because I was like, whenever you get in a bind, you're going to use them. It's going to mess you up. And then also, I don't want credit cards. I don't want them. But as time went on and I realized that my credit score stayed stagnant, and it stayed stagnant and low as a result of me not utilizing credit, I literally would be like, nope, don't want to get a loan. Nope, don't want to do this. After I had my trial period where I was young and I had to learn a lot of things myself that negatively affected my credit. Now granted, there's some people who are like, if you got this credit score, then you shouldn't be talking, I can't talk to you, blah blah blah. But you have to understand, not everybody grew up learning about finances. Like whether you had successful family members or you didn't have successful family members, if financial planning and financial budgeting was not conversations that you guys had, then you pretty much became 17, 18 years old and had to figure out credit yourself. You probably was negative upside down in equity in the vehicles that you bought. You bought cars that were just basically sold to you for higher than what they even sold for. You probably I don't know how credit cards max them out. You probably never even knew that using 30% of your utilization or lower is great. You probably didn't know when to pay your credit cards off and things like that. These things are things that some people were fortunate enough whose parents taught them these principles, or their parents already opened cards when they were 14 so they can establish credit, or they never had to pay for anything. Parents did everything for them. So in circumstances like that, you got those people who have 700-800 credit scores and they're just like a 400, a 500, a 600 credit score. What is that? Well, it's because you basically were taught about how to be financially responsible when it comes down to loans, credit cards, etc. And that other person was never taught. They had to go through those 400, 500, 600 credit scores to understand what credit was and what credit means and how to use credit and how credit affects you. So I had a long period of my time, and I'm still recovering right now from the fact that I didn't want cards. I didn't want anything. But when you do that, you're not showing that you can use credit. And credit is your report card. It's how are you going to be responsible if I give you a certain limit each month. Are you risky? Are you non-risky? So I had gotten to like some time ago where I was just like, okay, girl, if you want to be your most successful self, like your most successful self, you're going to have to use that credit. Like, you know what I mean? You're going to have to, even if you do secured cards, secured loans, credit lines, things like that, do those trade lines to help your credit and to show that you are responsible in the event that you're going to need to get a major loan. Maybe you want to purchase a home. Maybe you want to open that business that you have been dreaming about since you were a little girl. Well, newsflash. If you're not going to pay cash for all of those things that you want to acquire, you're going to have to show some form of credit history and knowing how to use it. Let's be clear, bad credit is oftentimes better than no credit. So I was at that standstill point where once I got rid of the negative things that were on my credit, I was at a standstill where I wasn't using it, so it looked like I didn't have any credit. So for the last I would say year or two, I've been trying to rebuild the credit to the point where it looks more new. When you're in college, obviously, maintaining credit cards and things like that is really not ideal because if you have your hands on credit cards and you're a college student, it's not even about maxing your cards out for shopping. Shoot, they cut your hours at work, you got to pay your bills. Or you picked up an extra class, now you got to pay for more books. So a lot of times I think that credit cards in college or credit cards in education or maybe in a certain point in life, it's easy to be maxed out because it's like, okay, well, max it out, whatever. That's $1,300 on the credit card. My rent, $900, whatever. So I just think that when it comes down to it, when all in all, most people do what's going to be in their best benefit. So that's what you want to do. You want to have that credit and you want to use it responsibly. If you're young, if you're old, if you're whatever, middle age, this information is pertinent to you as well. So I keep a financial planner. This is my accountability partner. When I write out all my goals, I write out all the things that I need to do to be financially free or to do what I need to do. It's in here, all my goals. And literally, it's talking about how I want to be a certain level of success and what I need to do to get there. So this is my daily financial planner. Anything I have to say, I got rewards back on this credit card, I'm documenting. I paid my bill, I'm documenting it because this is just literally my get it all out accountability. My leg is going down, by the way. And then today is this calendar. It basically has a section where you can put notes, but it also has a segment where you can literally write out your calendar each week. You put the month at the top and then you have all the dates and days. So this is definitely beneficial. I do put all my daily things in here and then any type of pertinent information I can put in here as well. And then like I told you, we got the agenda, the planner. So this right here is also bang, bang, bang. So that's basically what I have to say about what is in my bag. But when it comes down to credit, this is what I would say. If you are looking to repair your credit right now, the first thing that I would focus on if I were you are your open and active accounts, okay? focus on the open and active accounts. If you have credit card bills and you've fallen behind, it will be in your best interest to make at least a slight payment so that they can see that you're trying and not close your credit cards. Pay the minimum balance if you can. If you could pay more, pay more. Worst case scenario, the way I look at it is, obviously you don't want to pay off a credit card to use it if that's what you're trying to do, is pay it off and down. But at the same time, if worst came to it, it's almost like the money you just put on there, you just get it back. That's how I look at it. So but you want to look at it as, I'm going to pay a little bit toward it, and I'm not going to use it because eventually I'm going to hit a zero balance. But when you pay those over the limit credit cards, you need to pay that credit card beneath that limit so you can stop accruing that extra interest for being over your limit. But if I were you, remember, I'm not a credit expert, what I would do is pay the limit down. So pay on your active credit cards. Once you've paid those and you've gotten those back to positive standing, then you can focus on the other things on your credit. For me right now, I was going to close some credit cards that I know in long term I didn't want, but because I have goals, like business goals and personal goals for property, I'm not closing them because the age of your credit could be tremendously affected, and it can knock your credit score down and make your credit look even newer if you were already looking new and becoming better. So, which makes you look more risky the newer it is, because they don't know what your history is going to be down the road if everything is like, oh, she just opened this 1 month ago. There's nothing with longevity. So basically, I'm going to keep all those cards. I'm not going to close them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pay down all of them to like zero. And I'm only going to use 1 or 2 of them on a regular. Use them, pay them off. So that way I'm utilizing the card, but I'm also paying it back, and I'm also keeping my credit score well. Once I get what I want, like, my property goals and things like that, then I can consider closing those credit cards. And if my score drops, it's fine, because at that point I won't be in the market. But for right now, I'm not closing any cards. I'm keeping them open. But what I did decide to do was I opened new trade lines. I went to my bank the other day because I have been contemplating this. I wrote out my goals. And I opened 3 different, well, I won't say open 3 different things, but let me tell you what I did. I increased my credit card limit that I've had for almost 3 years. I've had this card for almost 3 years. I increased the limit because now at this point my utilization rate goes up. It looks like I'm eligible for more money, but I'm not using that much, which makes me look better for the usage. I opened up a trade line, and like a credit line for just emergency fund type deal, but also just to have an additional trade line open. The third thing that I did is I opened another secured credit loan builder. So basically the terms are for a year, and you pick a limit based off of what the bank rules are, and that is the amount that you pay on toward the loan. So what happens if say that you're gonna do, I don't know, say you're gonna do it for $500, right? For a year. Then your loan is for $500 in the secured loan for a year. And then once you hit a year, obviously you get that money back because you've paid it off. So, and some people do it different. Like for some banks, they might say, okay, for the secured loan, you give us the money, we freeze the money, we give you the money back, you make payments on the money. So it depends on how your bank rules go, but secured loans, secured cards are typically your money, and then you just treat them like you would treat a regular loan, or you would treat a regular credit card, like an unsecured loan or unsecured credit card. So that's what I did. I opened those back up. So that just increased my limit and opened 2 additional trade lines. If there are any other credit cards that I desire to open, just for whatever reason, I literally am going to be able to add to my credit mix, which is also like 10% of your credit. Your credit payment and your credit history is like 30 and 35%. So if you could pay your credit cards down, your credit history or your credit down, and then you can also make your payments on time, that's 65% of your credit. And if you can have a different variety of mix, which I do, that's already 75%. Then you have the other factors that affect you on your credit, like new age credit, which that's 10%, which I'm about to get that too, because I just opened up a few new things. For me, I open up, if I know I'm going to open up something, I open up everything all around the same time. That's me personally, because you literally, if you're opening up multiple credit cards or you're opening up multiple loans or something and it's all around the same time within 30 days, 14 days or whatever, you typically are only going to get one hit to your credit because it all is like basically the same thing. So you don't want to open a credit card this month and then wait 60 days and open up another one, because you're just getting more dings to your credit. Just do it all at once. So that's why I think you need to keep a financial planner, keep your journals, agendas, because I was able to document and notate what I wanted to do as far as spiking my credit to go up. Focus on those things. Then once you focus on those things, then that's when I would tell you to go in and look at, what new things have hit your credit. After you focus on those revolving credit cards, what new things have hit your credit? And you can even do this simultaneously as you're paying off the credit cards. Then establish your payment plan with those new things on your credit. The things that are in collection, dispute. If you can't find a way to dispute and get them off, then you need to be negotiating with those original debt collectors. You need to be finding out, if I settle the balance, will you remove it? If I pay it in full, will you remove it? If they say these are our terms and conditions to remove it, then I advise that maybe you should think about that so you can have it completely removed from your credit. Some things have statute of limitation, which is about 7 years or 10 years that it'll be on your credit. Some things are going to fall off. How are you going to know? You need to pull a credit report. Go to annualcreditreport.com. You get free credit reports every year. You get one free credit report. Most people don't know that. That's going to be your accurate things off of your credit. It's going to tell you literally what the bureaus have on your credit. It'll tell you what the estimated time for that to fall off of your credit. Like, I have a debt on my credit that has been there for a long time that I'm like, that debt does not belong to me. And I refuse to pay it. It's been years. I still refuse to pay it. Well, I'm about to hit 7 years. I have an estimated time of it to fall off, I think September or November of this year. I'm not touching that debt. I'm not making a settlement. I'm not doing any of that. I'm going to let that debt hit 7 years and then it'll disappear from my credit. That's what I'm going to do, because it no longer will even appear. But sometimes you start touching debt and stuff like that. I feel like it has the ability to recycle your credit. I don't know, but that's just what I have a feeling. So get into negotiation with these debt collectors. Fight for your credit. Make sure you dispute anybody who's on your credit that it doesn't belong, because some charges can be on your credit that aren't yours. Some names can be on your credit that aren't yours. You have to realize that the Social Security number, there's so many numbers that you're prone to be one number off from somebody else's Social Security. So you want to make sure that their numbers are not accidentally being, typed in on your name. So if I were you, that's what I would do. But yeah, that's what I keep in my bag. That's a little bit of credit tip, and I'll be doing some more credit videos because it seemed like I just gave y'all a mouthful. So I'll see you beautiful people in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Later.